Unplugged. My name is Petra Sargent, and I am excited and honored to be here to talk about Openstack. And I'm excited that everybody's here and excited about the conference. I have enjoyed it immensely. Today we'll cover some cloud concepts, discuss Openstack and its services, and then we'll end with an Openstack hands-on exercise. First, let me just introduce myself. I'll give you a little background about me. I have a BS in Mathematical Sciences from UNC Chapel Hill and a Master's in Computer Science from North Carolina A&T University. I have 15 years experience delivering software solutions. Wrote carrier grade switching software for 15 years in C and C++, and the development platform was Unix and Linux. And I also have experience teaching operating systems at a college. I taught students how to install VM and some basic Linux commands. Just recently, I'm an Openstack Outreachy alumni, and I'll talk about that a little later on the slides. But Outreachy is a paid internship where they're trying to get developers to make contribution to Openstack, and that is how I really got involved in learning Openstack, is through this Outreachy program. And currently, I'm the Getting Started track chair for the Openstack Summit, which is coming up here in August in Barcelona. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. So for today, we'll have an introduction to cloud, kind of like Cloud Essentials. We'll have an overview of Openstack and its services, and then we'll have a hands-on exercise with Openstack. Okay, so introduction, what does cloud mean? What is Openstack? And we'll talk about like a use case for Openstack. Okay, so what is cloud computing? What is the cloud? Where is the cloud? Are we in the cloud? These are all questions that we've heard before. Cloud computing is everywhere, and everybody's talking about cloud computing. Simply put, it provides access to applications, desktops, and servers over the internet. It's a type of computing that relies on sharing your resources rather than having local servers or devices to handle applications. And one of the things that Openstack can be used for is infrastructure as a service. This is how Openstack fits in. It is software for infrastructure as a service. It provides that. And what that means is it allows the end user, an end user could be your line of business, it could be an application owner or development team, to rapidly provision compute, storage, or network. And in our hands-on, we'll see how quickly that we can bring up a server in Openstack. And in this case, end users does not need to buy any bare metal hardware. You don't have to order the servers and wait for it to come. The end user only pays for what resources that are used. Other services in the cloud include software as a service, platform as a service, and there's other as a service. Okay, there are so many cloud terms, and when I was learning about cloud technology, there were so many terms that I had to get used to. And in our use case, we'll be talking about where we're talking about all these different terms. Scalable, what is scalable? What does that mean to be elastic? Agile, what is the tenant? What is a tenant? So let's kind of define those things by an example. Now, you know, the Olympics in Rio is going on right now, which I don't know about you, I'm just excited to watch these elite athletes. I'm loving watching gymnastics, swimming, and track and field. Now, just think about, okay, if I can't watch all these live, and so I've been going to a website to watch the videos, and just think about how much traffic is going to NBC website to watch the video. And so you will want your infrastructure for your website to be scalable so it can grow and quickly grow. And just like right now, the website, there's many users going to the website to watch these live videos for Olympics. Elastic means is that ability to grow and shrink on demand. So later on this year when the Olympics are over, let's say in December, you won't need all the resources. So you want to be able to shrink all the resources for your infrastructure. And the cloud it provides business agility. You're able to react quickly, to spin up all these resources very quick. So the cloud provides these things. And another terminology is tenants. The cloud provides multi-tenants, or you could say multi-tenancies. And a tenant is just, it's a customer or an end user. And I'll kind of show you how in Openstack, how you can show you what a tenant, what it looks like, a user looks like. But if you are a cloud provider, you can have the same different customers on the cloud, so multi-customers. So you can have different customers on a cloud, and the customers are called tenants. So with the cloud approach, you know, traditional IT management, kind of going away from that, where traditional IT management, the services are tied together and hard to manage. With the cloud, the IT uses a shared pool of resources. As we're mentioning the tenants, there's multi-tenants on the clouds, you're actually sharing resources. And you can access devices wherever you are. The services are loosely bound in the cloud management. Okay, so this is an overview of Openstack. You know, so what exactly is Openstack? And let's break down some of the services and have an overview of the component. So, you know, what is Openstack? Openstack is open source, which means that anybody can contribute to Openstack. I can, you can, anybody who wants to make a contribution can do so. And contribution doesn't have to be coding, it can be writing documentation. There's many different ways that you contribute. And open source means that the software is free, but not so much, because a lot of companies, what they do is they have their own version of Openstack, and they support Openstack, but it's for a cost, even though it is open source and free. You can download Openstack, download it, and have your own cloud. Open source, it's a community, and which means there are developers, there's people all over the world working on Openstack. It's supported or managed by a nonprofit organization, Openstack Foundation, that supports Openstack. They have summits twice a year. In the spring, the past summit, which was in April, was in Austin, which was able to attend, and that's the huge one. We had 7,000 people there at Openstack in Austin, and the one coming up is in October, is in Barcelona. And that is where the design community, that's where administrators, they get together and they share ideas, and they talk about, priorities for the releases. This is where you get to talk to people face to face at the summits, and which, it's invaluable. It's great. It's a lot of knowledge at the summits. Are there any questions so far? I don't see the chat, so I'm not sure if there's any questions. If there are any questions, please let me know.
Yeah, I don't see any questions.
Okay. So what is Openstack? What is it exactly? Openstack is software. It's software that controls a large pool of compute, storage, and networking resources through a data center. It's managed through a dashboard, which is the GUI, or via the Openstack API, or all through the command line, a CLI. So it's software. There are some core services for Openstack, and core services is what I call them bare bones services that you need to operate a cloud. And the core ones are your Swift, which is storage, Keystone, Identity, Nova, which is compute. You have your networking, which is Neutron, and Cinder, and Glance. And we'll go over and just review what kind of highlight. I'll give you an overview of what the core service provides. Okay, so Keystone. Keystone is the identity. We talked about having multi-tenants. This is your identity service. It provides your authentication and authorization services. You have Nova, which is your compute. And Nova, it manages your instances or your VMs for an OpenStack environment. It's responsible for spawning off, for spawning and scheduling and decommissioning of your machines on domain. So it is your manager. Okay, storage. Storage is a part of the core services for OpenStack. You have your object storage, which is Swift. Your object storage system, it runs on your standard server hardware. It's best suited to back up and archive your unstructured data, such as documents, images, audios, and your video files. Cinder is your block storage. It provides persistent storage in the form of block devices known as your Cinder volumes, and one potential storage volume might be a database. And so your block storage volumes, they survive the termination of your instance. The other two storages is your Glance, which is your image storage. This stores and retrieves your virtual machine disk image. So it's the images for your virtual machine, which is like a real lightweight operating system. And we'll see that your images, we'll see that when we do our hands-on. And also Neutron is the last core service, which is the networking piece. It enables your network connectivity as a service for other OpenStack services. Okay, so that's your core. That's what you need for your basic to operate a cloud. There are tons of optional services that are listed here. Go into all of them, but one that I want to bring out is Horizon, which is your GUI. That's your dashboard. That's what we see. Tamika, I think I'm hearing the keyboard click. Okay. So that is kind of overview of the different services that Openstack has. Let's go ahead and let's build a network and create an instance with Openstack. So let's go to the GUI. In order to get to the GUI, if you can cut and paste this to your browser, you can copy it and cut and paste it to your browser, and also make a note of the password, which is Women in Linux as an uppercase W Conf 2016.
Also, this is in the booth as well too. If you were in the application itself, but I'll go in there and cut and paste it for you. But it's actually in the booth.
Okay.
If you guys still have your booth open or whatnot, it's actually in the booth. But I'll ride over there and grab that real quick for you guys. Let me. There you are. You go and grab it here. Here you guys go. Username and passwords, Petra.
Okay, so the password, everybody has the same password, which was, I had it on, did you see it on that last screen? The password is uppercase W-I-L, with uppercase C-O-N-F, conf 2016.
Mm-hmm.
That's the password. And so I added users, and the user is demo, D-E-M-O 1 through 10. So
I'll put in the chat box. I'm gonna do demo 10. You guys put in there what you're gonna do. I am demo 10.
Okay. Yep. Everybody put in which username you're gonna use, and you all have the same password. Okay. Okay.
And is the password this here? WILW capital capital W capital I capital L conf 2016.
It's uppercase W, then it's a lowercase I, lowercase L, uppercase C, then lowercase O-N-F 2016.
Okay.
Okay. So everybody can log on into the Openstack Cloud, and okay, and so you should get to this, and on the left side of when you log in, you'll see this is the list of services that you have for your cloud, and we built this with the basic services. So you'll have compute, which is we talked about, which is your manager of your instances. Whoops. You have network here, which is your Neutron, and then images is Glance. So the first thing I want to do is actually go to network and look at the network topology. So earlier today, I created a network and some instances, and this kind of shows, you see here, Women in Linux Network, the two instances that are attached to my network. And this is what we are going to create. We're going to create our network and two instances and attach our instances to the network. And you can also see this, let's see, oops, here is another visual presentation of our instances. There's our cloud, and there's our two VMs here. So that's what we're going to do, and I'll show you how quickly you can provision a server. So first thing, let's go to networks. Let's see, networks, and let's create a network. So click on create network, and you can put a name, any name that you like. Okay, Olympic Networks. Now I clicked on the subnet tab, and we're going to create a subnet associated with the network. So let's give it a name. All right, so now next let's give it a IP address. And if you highlight over the question mark, it tells you the format. So here we're going to use 192.168. And so whatever you see, if you logged in username demo, Tamika used demo 10. So here, if you put 192.168.10, or whatever number that you're assigned to, put it here. And then 024. We're going to disable the gateway for now, so we won't be able to communicate. We'll only have internal communications, but not to the outside. And allocation pools, let's go ahead and do that. You can put your cursor on the question mark, and it has 192.168. It's 192.168.1.100. And then comma, I'm going to put your 192.168.200. So this is your pool of IP addresses that we're defining. All right. So now click create. Okay, so let's see, let me go back and edit this. It says the allocation pool spans beyond that. So let's go back. Let me go here. Edit network. Let me go back to create network. Olympic network subnet network address 168. Let me do 11. -24. Disable the gateway subnet details. Let's put 192.168. here. Let's see what our network address. 192.168. Now create. All right, so we created our Olympic network. Here, we just created a network. Now we're going to attach our instances to the network. So if you go to the Compute tab, Instances, and let's launch our instance. So we're going to launch our server. Okay, so let's name our instance. Okay, availability zone, this is the region. So the first thing here is your source. We can select our boot source. We can take a snapshot of our image of our server, or we can choose an image here. So in this case, we're going to choose this image, this Cyros image. I'm going to add it by clicking the plus. Okay, the flavor. So these are our lightweight operating systems. We're going to pick a nano one, which is 64 megabytes of RAM. Okay. And that's it. And so what we're going to do, we're going to add this instance to the Olympic network that we just added. So we'll click plus, and now we're going to launch our instance. Bam, so bam. Yep, so we just created a server. You know, after we just had how many clicks? Maybe 10 clicks. We have provisioned a server. And it's still coming up, and it didn't take long. Let's go to the Network tab and actually see the network topology. Okay, so we see here there's our Olympic network. We have an instance attached. And so you can see how easily that you can create a server at just a couple of clicks. You didn't have to order any hardware or spec or anything, wait for it to come in. You can do it really easy, and that's, you know, the beauty of having things in the cloud and in Openstack.
So I give us an extra 5 minutes. I don't know if anyone has questions, so you guys can ask questions. Petra, you have more, right?
Yeah, I did want to talk about outreach as well.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's see, unless there's any other questions.
Yeah, if you guys got questions, please let us know.
Okay. Yeah, the last thing, let me see. I think the last thing, so what else did I want to say? Yeah, the last thing I wanted to mention is the paid internship for Outreachy is how I got involved in Openstack. And it is sponsored by the Openstack Foundation, and many different companies contribute to it, the funding for it. And just for more information, you can go to this website and apply. There's a deadline. It's coming up. It's October 17th. You get a stipend and also some travel funds as well. That's how I got to Openstack. I don't know what just happened, but that's how I got to able to go to the summit. But it is a great way to get involved in OpenStack is through outreach. You assign a mentor and also a project. And but the thing about it, before you apply, you have to make a small contribution to OpenStack. So you have to go in there, and you do have to sign some licensing agreement, get involved with the community, kind of see where you fit in, and ask where you can help and give a contribution and apply for the internship. But I want to say, if anybody was interested or needed interested in outreachy, please let me know. I could be glad to kind of step you through the whole application process. But is there any questions about anything?
Nothing for me. I don't know why their screen ended up going black there, but I don't have anything. So I kind of went to outreachy myself on my screen, so you guys can check it out and so forth. And I actually post this inside of the chat as well,
Okay.
so you guys want to go to it. But if anything, Petra will be in her booth. We're getting ready to do our next set of talks, gamers panel and MongoDB, and then followed by that, we'll be wrapping up. See
All
you guys.
right. And
Go ahead, Petra. Thank you as well.
yeah, yep. I was gonna say, yep. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. That's the last thing I wanted to say.
All right. All right, then. See you guys at the next panel, or the next booth, I should say. All right. Bye.